What does the road show you from being on tour with your other bands? I've done a tremendous amount of touring through the years with all of my different bands and projects. That's where I am most comfortable. I love being on the road. I love playing live. I love the interaction between the band and the fans. To me, I prefer that way over the studio. The studio is a great creative environment, but you're playing to four walls. I prefer the live environment where there's immediate feedback and interaction. That's what it's about for me. Looking into the audience, connecting with them, playing to them, performing for them. I'm not there to play my drum parts perfectly. I'm there to entertain them. And that's my priority live on stage, is to entertain and interact. And I got a feeling this band is going to be a great live band. I mean, me and Billy have done touring together in other bands and projects. Billy's a tremendous performer on stage as well. Richie, I know, is going to have his hands full being at the mic the whole night, but you know, that's going to be where he shines. What 5 albums would you want to be stranded on a desert island with? Well, is that the same question as what are my 5 favorite albums? I don't know. I have a top 5 of classic albums and a top 5 of modern albums. My top 5 classic albums of all time are Pink Floyd's The Wall, The Beatles' Sgt. Pepper, The Who's Tommy, Elton John's Goodbye Yellow Brick Road, and David Bowie's Ziggy Stardust. That's my top 5 of all time. But then I have a top 5 of more modern albums from maybe the last 20 years, and that would be the Beastie Boys' Paul's Boutique, Mr. Bungle's self-titled debut, Jellyfish's Spilt Milk, Radiohead's OK Computer, and Muse's Absolution. So there's a top 10 for you. Top 5 classics, top 5 contemporary. And strangely enough, a lot of my favorite bands aren't even represented in those 10 albums. There's no Rush, no Led Zeppelin, no Yes, no Genesis, no Metallica, no Maiden. So really, if you take my top 10 and then the bands I just named, you know, Frank Zappa, you know, that's really my top 15, 20 artists. Last question. What is the one most important thing about this record that you want your fans to know? Well, ultimately, I want people to enjoy the Winery Dogs album for what it is, which is just great classic rock, power trio, good songs, good songwriting, good musicianship. You know, don't expect it to be a prog band because I'm in it. Don't expect it to be a blues or a soul band because Richie's in it. You know, we put our heads together to come up with something refreshing and new. It's kind of like an old sound and an old style, but with a new twist. And that's who we are. There you go. MP over and out.